welcome to the junk pile. We're in the garage today looking at the HPS 125, the Mondial bike that I got for the Grand Challenge. If you don't know what the Grand Challenge is, I'm going to put a link in the description, and feel free to head on over there and have a look and maybe sign up for yourselves. But the premise of it is that you get a bike for less than £1,000 and you ride it places. There's going to be events. It's all arranged by Nathan Millward, who is well known for his Postie Bike tours and bike tours, the garbage run, stuff like that. All good fun. Done a couple of his Postie Bike tours and they've been really great. And yeah, basically the more of these challenges you do, the more points you get, and the more points you get, the more chance you have of getting the most points in a year, and who knows, maybe points win prizes. But my bike that I have picked up for £755 is a Mondial HPS 125. So only a little engine, but kind of meets the description and the brief of being lightweight, fairly simple. It's an Aprilia based engine, so there's lots of spare parts and support for it and that kind of thing. Easy to work on. Got quite beefy suspension, so I'm hoping it's going to be okay off-road, but it was crash damaged, and although it kind of looked quite good in the pictures, it's quite rough for a bike that's only really 2 years old. So I just thought I'd show you around some of the bits that are broken, and then show you what we're going to do to try and get it going. So as you can see, crash damage on the handlebar area. It's basically missing the last few inches of the handlebars and the handle grip, and the bar end mirrors, of course, and the clutch lever is broken. The triple clamp and everything looks kind of okay. Hopefully that's straight. They seem quite solid still. You can see for a bike that's only 2 years old, it is incredibly dirty. So I think it's been well used and abused, and probably not had a huge amount in the way of maintenance. Part of the crash has damaged this mounting for the switch gear on the left hand side of the handlebars, but we've actually got a new one of those. I'll show you that in a bit. So all I've done so far is whip the tank off, whip the seat off, just to get a bit of the lay of the land. The battery was completely dead and it was reading under 10 volts, so needed to replace that too. We've got a new one of those, but you can see the top of the head is filthy, so we're going to clean that up in a bit. The spark plug, I've pulled the HT lead off it already. We're going to change that. Need to stick something in the end of the fuel inlet so I don't fill that with water when I'm cleaning it. Battery, obviously we've got a new one of those. The airbox is in quite a good position for fording because it's quite high up and the intake is right at the back here, so if you've got a little bow wave, that shouldn't really cause a problem. The exhaust is interesting because it comes out the side here, which is quite a good, from a style perspective is quite good, but isn't actually the most comfortable when you're riding along with your foot there. But we will, you probably didn't see that, when you're riding along with your foot there, it can kind of rub up against your ankle. But the bit that we need to sort out for off-roading, which we've got some plans for, is the bash plates. I don't know if you can quite see in there, this plastic plate, although it's reasonably solid, it's not going to stand up to much abuse off-road, and it's already got a couple of cable ties on there I can see. But underneath it is a great big silencer, which I believe has got the catalytic converter in there, so we have to think about something to do with that. We need to take, the plan is to take this off, build something out of steel, bolt it on, and hopefully do something about that giant muffler. Other than that, it's just a bit shabby really. For a 2-year-old bike, it's clearly seen some adventures already. All of the finish is kind of peeling off these aluminium parts. It's the same story all over really. It's missing the reflector on this side, but it's not a big deal. These rear shocks, they seem to be in reasonable working order. I have my doubts as to whether these are really remote reservoirs. They've got some kind of bolt or something in the bottom of it, but I don't know if it actually feeds the shock at all. You can see there is some adjustment, but my theory is that if you were to cut through this piece of metal here, it would just be a sintered metal piece. It's all style over substance. The other side, you can see how all the finishes come off. It's just got raw aluminium there, so it's tatty already, which is great for this kind of challenge because it doesn't matter if it gets tattier. It's got a few dents in the tank. You can see the tank is already over here with the seat, but these are the bits that are hopefully going to get it going. I just grab the battery as well. So we've got a new battery, just a cheap one, but it should do the job. We've got that switch gear for the left hand side. We've got some new levers. I'm definitely going to use the clutch lever because we need to use that, but I'm not sure about this brake lever. It's pretty cheap looking, so we'll see if we bother. Obviously we've got usual service items. We've got some new oil. We've got a new oil filter, which is the cutest little oil filter I've ever seen. New O-ring for the oil filter housing. Got the air filter as well, and then for a bit of bling, got these nice Pro Taper bars, which I think are going to give it a bit more of a good riding position and more control for off-road. I actually had these in the shed for my old CRM, which unfortunately got nicked and I never got to fit them. Same as, you can see, the CRM had a bit of an orange theme. Some of these quick fits, speed fit handle grips. So they will be going on there. So the first thing I'm going to do, it's like a smart looking bike, but it's in a hell of a mess in terms of just all the muck on it, is just give it a really good clean and see where we go from there. And like, I guess my goal for the day is to try and get it started. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, a bit of progress so far. Got these bars on. Obviously, good bit of leverage for off-roading. They fit quite nice. They feel quite good. But the we can make this side work. This side, we're going to have to get a longer clutch cable, which brings me on to another slight problem, and that I'm pretty sure the clutch is supposed to in some way spring back when it's pulled, but something there is broken. That's going to warrant a bit of further investigation. I guess if the clutch lever was hit really hard in whatever the accident was, then it might have just snapped something, some kind of mechanism inside the clutch housing. But one good thing, we've got the tank on. It's not on properly, but it's got some fresh fuel in it, and it's alive. Actually runs okay, so I guess at least that's something. Starts right up, not too smoky. It was a bit smoky at first, but seems to be alright now. So yeah, that's a bit of a bonus. Just got to figure out what's going on with the clutch.